Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Today, I'm talking to Adrian Lopez, head of AI for Flight Center Travel Group, and responsible for the group's newly launched AI Center of Excellence, along with being responsible for laying out the shared corporate vision for AI within the organization. Adrian was previously Global Chief Technology Officer for SCM Digital. Thanks for joining me today, Adrian.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, Bob. Thank you to Baxter Media for having me. I'm excited to spend the next 30 minutes talking about AI with you.
You're more than welcome. We're excited too. Listen, I wanted to start by asking you about SAM, the mobile AI-powered app for corporate travelers that you co-founded in 2014, and which was ultimately acquired by Flight Center in 2019. I mean, I'd be interested in hearing what you saw as the benefits of and opportunities for AI at that time, and how or if AI and its possible applications have changed since then.
Yeah, so that was back in 2014, so almost 10 years now. Things have changed a lot, Bob. The idea back then was like, we started with the concept of creating a travel assistant, so to provide service to the travelers on a travel agency. But the goal was to offer more value. So we quickly saw that a lot of the things that the travel agency was doing was kind of focusing really on the selling and servicing part, which is the primary goal of the travel agency, which is fine. But what the travelers really appreciated was when your travel agent goes the extra mile. When I called you and they say, "Hey Bob, your flight has been delayed, so you do risk missing your connection. So here's what you can do. Oh, there's like this security issue happening on your destination, so you may be affected. So you may want to reconsider your plans." That is what makes you trust the agency and say, "Wow, this is really cool." So how we wanted to bring this to scale, how we do this to every user of the travel agency. So on the one side, you start connecting with different data sources. You start having like flight alerts, security alerts, your profile, your itinerary. You shake everything, and then you have small drops of information relevant to you. Say, from things like extreme weather. Hey, Bob, you're flying to London. There's a heavy rainfall expected in the next couple of days. So pack an umbrella. But but the ambition was even bigger. Because that's only one direction. We wanted you to be able to, chat and be, like a real chatbot. That was the time the chatbot started being a thing. And maybe you are being able to ask, "Hey, what's my luggage allocation for my flight next week?" And that's where things got really tricky. Back then, natural language processing was like quite hard to manage. Like, I think everyone has experienced this feeling chatting with a bot that like, "I'm sorry, I do not understand. I'm sorry," and it could be really frustrating. And basically, you needed a whole team of researchers. You needed a linguistic team. And I think that gap has really closed now with the new AI models, and it's much simpler now to be able to offer this kind of experience.
Now, late last year, Flight Center Travel Group launched its AI Center of Excellence, and I'm hoping you can talk about what that center is all about, what will its focus be, and why its focus is on the FCTG's corporate divisions and not the leisure side.
Mhm. So the AI Center of Excellence is a team inside Flight Center Travel Group that is focused on bringing AI initiatives to and helping other teams. I usually joke with the team that we are kind of like the special operation teams. I mean, first because it looks cool, but basically we are kind of like the expert in the technology, and we kind of infiltrate and we help with other teams on how we build prototypes together. We are the expert and we help other developers. We have a large amount of teams and developers, so we are the one that kind of help them and drive the vision and strategy. So we build things in a consistent way. And regarding why this is a corporate initiative and not leisure, why Flight Center, as you know, we do have the two branches, corporate and leisure, and we do tend to keep things a bit separated because the business needs are quite different. This team has been focused for the last years mostly on corporate issues, so that's why we have decided that we couldn't handle both set of problems. But we do have a strong collaboration with the leisure teams. They're putting together a similar structure, and we do have recurring meetings. We do have a lot of knowledge sharing. So there is and I'm really happy because it's really powerful to have people with different background, even though we're all in travel, sharing all this knowledge.
Now, in that announcement, it indicated that the center will strategically harness the power of AI to revolutionize Flight Center's flagship business travel division, corporate travel, and FCM. Can you talk about how the power of AI will be harnessed and what the revolution will look like?
Yeah. So, there's a lot of noise about AI. You cannot be more than 15 minutes without seeing some AI news pop up, and everyone's doing things with it, and it's not clear what they're doing. So we say, okay, look, at least on Flight Center, we need to have a team that we need to separate what is a hype, what is a true technology, what we can do, what is relevant, and what it makes sense for us to research and to build on top in a secure way, and what is just hype and noise. So that's our focus. We want to deliver real innovation, real product. We're not here for the marketing gimmick. That's not for us. We're here to deliver products. And then you ask, how does this revolution look like? And I'm going to talk a bit more, not only on Flight Center. This is my personal view, but I do have a strong feeling or belief that I think in 5 years from now, every Flight Center employee will use AI at some point on their day-to-day. Maybe you're a copywriter and you need to compose, and you need help to compose some text. Maybe you're a developer like myself and you need some help getting that code running in production, or you're a travel agent because this is our business and maybe you need some help with that command to get the fair rules in Sabre, or you need some, delegate some cancellation to the AI. I feel it's a revolution. It's like saying 20 years ago that everyone would be using the internet or computer. I think this is going to be now 20. In 5 years, AI is going to be a main part of our day-to-day.
Your new role is head of AI for corporate, and you're responsible for laying out the shared corporate vision for AI within the organization. I'm wondering if you can share some of the details of that vision. Where is AI taking the travel industry?
So our vision on Flight Center and on the AI Center of Excellence, we want to make AI more human and human more AI friendly. So what does this mean? We want to use AI in a responsible way, but at the same time empower our people to use it, improving their day-to-day processes, their day-to-day work, and provide a better service. That's the strategy. I do feel that this vision is going to be, probably this is where the travel industry will go. I think more companies will aim to add AI to serve their customer, ideally better. Our goal is not like we're going to put fully automated, going full on AI to automate and just have chatbots answering to all the requests. We do have a strong belief on our people and the value that they provide. But I think this is where the strategy may differ on the travel industry. I think some companies, they may decide to go full AI and put for any problem that we may have, put AI on top of it. And, we'll see how that play out. Because I think the travel industry and business travel industry is quite complex. A lot of the technical challenges, they are not easily solved even with AI on top. So you need to have a lot of expertise before you can solve it.
As a bit of a follow-up here, can you talk about how you'll ensure that Flight Center is maximizing the potential of generative AI and doing it effectively, responsibly, and in alignment with the company's business objective?
Yeah, so part of this strategy on Flight Center was this Center of Excellence, which basically, look, as a developer, I'm there's so many AI resources. I mentioned before, there's so many news. If you want to get into the technical weeds of it, it's like every day there's new models, new ways of doing things, new way to retrieve information. So everything's changing. So you may start learning a way of solving a problem today, and in a week from now, has completely changed. I haven't seen anything like that in all that I have been coding. So it is crazy. So having a team that is kind of on top of all of this and kind of helps navigate this complexity is one of the, how we maximize the potential. That's point one. And the point two is like this team is also aligning the whole business. So what does this mean? That we need to be aligned with the business strategy, how we're going to get the customer or keep them, and also regarding things like data privacy. We're starting to get, a lot of questions from our customer, and it's normal. How do we use AI? And we need to have really good answers, make them count that we're using AI in a responsible and a safe way. We're not deploying things into production until we're really sure. We don't want to mess it up. We have seen recently the new. This is a Canadian audience. Air Canada recently went through the trial with their chatbot. Like we are putting a lot of processes to make sure that something similar doesn't happen to us.
So what kind of best practices, support, and training will be needed for Flight Center personnel?
Yeah. So as I said, we are the team we are the expert on the best way of doing things. So basically, when we do have a team that they want to implement some sort of AI or they want to develop a new feature using AI, they come to us, they contact us. We're really open to work with all the business, and we do work together. We co-create the solution. We work on for this problem, this is the best solution. This is the model that we use. Do we use GPT models or do we use an open source model that we can train further? What are the data privacy? We're obviously not using any confidential data. How we are going to deploy this in our enterprise cloud in a secure way with our partners. Because otherwise, everyone starts from scratch. Everyone starts doing things on their own way. And then 6 months from now, you have 10 different projects, everyone built in a different way, and it's going to be a mess. But that's a bit more on the creation of a new product. But you also have the employees that they have questions. Hey, can I use ChatGPT? Can I use Adobe new tool to generate images? So we have created together with our data privacy teams an AI policy, which basically outlines what the employees can and cannot do. There are basic things there, like obviously you're not allowed to use any customer data, any confidential data, to a more set of extensive rules. Like we do have some list of tools that you're not allowed to use, some recommended rules, things like that you need to get approval. The last best practice that we're trying to implement on the group, we're starting different pilots on tools. For example, one of the tools that we're piloting now, there's GitHub Copilot, which is one of these copilots that everyone is hearing. Basically, it's like an assistant, but this is for coders, for developers. So we're doing a small pilot with a set of developers. We're gathering the feedback, how much their code has improved. Is this hype or this is real value? And this measuring and getting the feedback will allow for us to make the decision on deploying and training and support the rest of the developers.
So I wondered, how does and how will AI improve efficiency and drive value to new and existing customers?
So our strategy on this AI Center of Excellence, my strategy is quite simple. I like simple things, Bob. I like either we improve the productivity of the company or we identify new use cases and new features, which translate into plain English is like either we save money to the company or we make more money. It's as simple as that. I told at the beginning, I'm not here for the marketing gimmick, for the trade shows, and just saying that. I really want to improve how we do things and how this is going to be represented on existing clients. So there's going to be like operational changes and improvement. So we're working with our agents to reduce waiting times, make them more effective. For like a real example that we do, like now you send an email to our travel agent, travel consultants. We do have an AI system that categorizes the urgency of this request. Because if it's not the same, if Bob wants to book a flight in 2 months' time because he wants to come to sunny Greece for summer, which is a great idea, that Bob needs to change his flight departing in 3 hours. That's an urgent request, and we don't need the Bob to remember, hey, I put urgent on the subject and someone picked that when it's going through the list of emails. So this kind of AI helpers will help a lot on these things. That's on the productivity, but we're also adding a ton of new features that they are using AI on the back to help the end user. So one of the features that we recently introduced, like we do have a product, it's called FCM extension. It's a browser extension that allows travel managers to push notification when people are navigating on travel website. So now the travel manager needs to create all this content. I need to say, hey, if you're flying to Toronto, this is like the recommended hotel and this is the travel policy. They need to create all of this manually. Now they have an AI system that you basically can upload your travel policy and it will generate all these notifications for you, all these tooltips, all these notifications. So this has been really well received by our customers and we're really excited.
How do you see AI being integrated into the operations of corporate traveler and FCM? I know you talked a little bit about it. Can you offer some more examples?
Sure. So, as I say, operations is what I say one of the main verticals where AI is going to have a high impact. For surprise of no one, and this is happening on all the business I think on the wall, like there is like support is problematic. Like there's a lot of requests. There's not many people. There's people that they haven't been, long enough on the travel industry to have all the expertise. So I think AI will really help to close that gap of knowledge, help them prioritize, help them access training material, training content. For example, if I'm a junior travel agent and there is something that I don't know how to do, I may have an AI copilot that it tells me, to do that in the GPS, this is the command that you need to do and this is how you do it. Right now, that person will need to maybe escalate the case to a more senior person, and it is happening. Let's be honest. Our travel agent on this industry, they are, there's a generational gap, and then we have really senior travel agent, but we also have a new batch of more junior people that they haven't been working with GDS for 40 years. So we need to close this gap, and AI is going to help with that. But also, we think that AI can help on the end side of the end users. We're seeing more and more people that they want to do more self-service things, like self-service support. So if I do send a request for doing a travel chain or travel question, I'm not saying we're going to have AI completely tackle that for you. As I said at the beginning, we do believe that the human has value here. But if I can guide you onto self-serving this yourself, if you're interested, while you wait for the reply, we're getting, we're seeing an appetite on this from especially newer generations.
I'm just wondering what you see as the potential of generative AI to transform work, to enhance productivity and improve workflow.
Yeah, I think I mentioned before that I do see in 5 years everyone using AI. I think it's a safe bet, at least for me, that this is going to happen because it has been shockingly fast. Like I didn't know, otherwise I would probably try to invest on ChatGPT or something like that if I could. But it's like I didn't expect the jobs as complex as a software engineer could use AI at this level. I think everyone was expecting AI is going to be, automating a lot of jobs. I didn't expect to be at this level. And I always put this example, as a coder, as a software engineer, there's a debugging technique. So you're stuck with a problem or with a bug. And there's a debug technique that is quite funny that you do have a rubber duck, like, the one that you put on your bathtub. And you basically explain the problem to this. Like you may have like a toy to have here, BB-8 from Star Wars. So you basically start explaining this to this little toy. And the reason is that your brain, when you're explaining this not a live system, and you're dumbing it down. You say, okay, I did this and this is happening. Many times it kind of say, oh wait, why I did that? Why? Like when you're explaining how you reach a problem is when you figure out yourself that where the problem is. So now you have tools like ChatGPT where you're explaining what is happening, but this is not a rubber duck that cannot reply back. It's replying, it's asking me follow-up question. And this is so powerful. This is really crazy. And it tells, have you tried that? Why you did that? And this is basically having a person sitting next to you. I would call it like an intern, but I don't want to have the connotation where it's like a junior level. It's like, yeah, maybe it's not an expert coder as I am, but it's someone that knows. And it's giving me advice, it's telling me. And you're thinking, okay, that's good if you're a developer, but maybe I'm a copywriter, maybe I'm marketing, someone in marketing, and I need to write a piece of content. I'm not saying the AI will write everything. I mean, as I said at the beginning, I do believe the human part is the most important, but it can give me some, it can read it, it can try to suggest, okay, that's not that clear. That is having someone 24/7 sitting next to you where you can throw ideas back and forth and be better. So I think that's going to really change how people work.
All right, let's talk about humans versus AI. Will there be winners and losers, or can a human workforce coexist in a world where AI is ubiquitous? What will that world look like?
I don't think there's going to be a winner or actually a loser in the human versus AI. I do think that we may have a future where a human that uses AI versus a human that does not use AI. I think the person that does not use AI may be in a disadvantage. As I said before, I think AI at the moment, especially, cannot exist without humans. It's only as good as you give. So if you give a good question, good prompt, good parameters, it's going to produce really good content. But I feel that some people may be a bit more reactive. That they will not want to be, they will not want to adapt to this, and they will be more rejecting the change. So I think this is coming. I think the AI is coming, and they will start feeling that their colleagues that are using AI, they are suddenly much faster, and they're able to do more things. So if I'm a developer, I'm able to code more. If I'm a marketing person, I'll be able to produce more pieces. If I'm a journalist, I'm able to do more things. So I think this is happening. And there may be people that reject this, but I mean, this is a strong opinion on my side. But I feel sometimes this is like, you're a cab driver with horses, with a carriage. It's really nice. You really trust your horses, but now they're cars. And I think that people want to go faster. So either you adapt and you replace your horses with a car, or you may find out yourself that you have been updated.
Well, it's pretty much accepted that AI will be disrupted, and I'm wondering if you can share some insights on how you see it disrupting the travel business, and whether you see benefits to the kind of disruption it will bring.
Yeah. So I like to call it disruption. I like to call it more an evolution, because I'm a big believer that this is coming for a better, like we're evolving in a better direction. I do see a lot of benefits on this evolution. I think we're starting to see everyone is starting to add AI pretty much everywhere. And especially in the early days, I think everyone, because we're hitting the same problem, they're starting to add into our internal problems operationally, how we provide a better service. But we will very soon start seeing AI put more into the, in the front of the customer, more in chatbot, automation, send notifications. And I think that that's going to be a big area of exploration, especially I think a big trend will start coming on the personalization. I do think that personalization is going to be a really big topic, because we, as I said at the beginning, if you're able to provide this, going the extra mile for a person, like in the case that we were talking about, for every one of your customers, this is going to be, the $1 million idea. Like if you're able to go to that level of personalization, things are changing. I don't think there's going to be any more like as a travel agency, like one solution fits them all. Like even on leisure or corporate, if I'm doing leisure, I can go now to ChatGPT and say, hey, I want a 5 days trip to Tanzania and I want to visit that, but make this shorter, but maybe extend that because I want to see this reserve. Maybe I also want Zanzibar, so add a couple of days. And it's able to generate this. And that I'm asking, but also in the future could say like, my profile, what I usually book. I see this ultra personalization really disrupting or evolving our industry. But the small caveat, it is a complex industry. So especially, the business travel, there's like GBS, there are like technology partners that they've been here for a long time. So I do think AI will help with a lot of things, but there's still a big gap that you need to close. That's like how you connect with this, how you're able to actually sell a flight, ticket it, and provide a service. So we will see newcomers, but still there is this barrier of the on the business industry.
Okay, my last question is I'm wondering if you can talk about some of the new ways that AI will help corporate traveler and FCM service their clients and, I guess, reach the next generation of business travel.
Yeah, we're starting to see this next generation of travelers. We're seeing, executive from modern startups that, they travel a lot, but they have different priorities. They have different ways of doing things that maybe older generations. Many don't even have an executive assistant that they manage the travel for them because they're a bit more picky, I would say. They have strong preferences. Many they're not phone friendly. Like I'm a millennial, okay, and my generation is more like, don't call me if you can, okay. If you can avoid it, just text me first. This is how we kind of do things now. Phone is like the last resort, but I'm still able to jump into a call. But Gen Z is coming, and Gen Z is even more like, there's no phone. Phone is dead for me. Like, don't call me ever. So we're seeing this change. Like this generation is more used to dealing with text interfacing. They don't mind chatting. But it needs to deliver. I think that's the important. We need to be able to provide a really good service. Not enough with just understanding what you want. Understanding now is much easier with the new AI models, but we need to deliver. I think that's the important, and I think that's where many players will see who makes at the end. Because like a simple question that I asked at the beginning, like, do I have luggage on my flight next week? That now is a bit easier to understand, but it's still quite complex. Is this information on the GPS? Is on the airline? Is on the fare rules? Is on the how do I even start to find out? If the user say, okay, now I don't have add one, so how do I start adding? Is it an ancillary? Is it part of NDC? How do this? So there's this barrier that we need to solve. But I'm optimistic, and I think this generation is also more open to try new things and more accepted of these new technologies.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing back from you in another couple of months to see how things have gone. And thank you for being here. Eilish, do we have any questions?
We had a couple comments. Patrick said AI is the future. It's important to embrace it rather than fear it, which is, yes, absolutely a salient point. Exactly. And then Sally was just saying, she's not a flight center agent. Can we still benefit for this platform? And Sally, yes, I think AI is beneficial for everyone in the world, including in the travel industry. So feel free to check out our episodes 1 and 2 as well of this interview series. They're on our YouTube channel to get more info on AI and how your company can benefit. So that brings us to the end of our time. Huge thank you to Adrian for being here, for your time. Don't forget to check out, as I said, episodes 1 and 2 on our YouTube channel. And for our future upcoming webcasts, they can all be found on travelpress.com under the Travel Webcast tab. The next one's on March 28th with Princess Cruises, so please be sure to register for that. And you can follow Baxter Media on social media. LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. So that wraps things up for today. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Adrian. And everyone have a great rest of your day.
Thanks all.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.